know what data is all about, but where do you get this data from? You have two different sources. Number one is the primary data source. Number two is the secondary data source. And primary data source is this. If you want to collect the blood sugar of some patient for a research, you can ask the patient to measure the blood sugar today, tomorrow and day after for 3 days, or if you want 5 days, yes, 5 days, he will collect it using his own glucometer and report it in a piece of paper. This is primary because you are the researcher, the doctor is collecting the data, blood sugar data of this particular patient himself. Now the secondary data is about, you can collect the same blood sugar level of this patient that happened in the past. You go through the medical records of this particular patient and you can see the records of blood sugar. He would have taken it in different intervals, and that was taken by some other different doctors for his requirement, and you are using it for your purpose. So you did not collect it, that was collected by someone else, and you're using it for your research here. This is secondary. So primary is about you collect by yourself. Secondary is about you use some data collected by someone else. Right, now where do we get the data from? Secondary data sources and primary data sources. Let me take a good example to understand this. In this class, there are 100 MBA students sitting down and studying. And I want to study, I want to learn how many females and males are there. I want the gender distribution here. So I can ask everyone, what is your gender, what is your gender, what is your gender? So 60 of you may say we are females and 40 of you may say we are males. Based on this, I can do my analysis and I can finally say 60% are females and 40% are males. This is the primary data because I collected myself to get to know your gender and I processed it myself. Now, the same analysis can be done using secondary data as well. Do you remember when you register for this course, we asked you what is your gender? And some of you have selected females and others have selected males and so on. Now, this data is in my database. If I go there, I can take the gender distribution in those database and I can do the analysis and I can come to the same conclusion later. 60% of them are females and 40% of them are males. So this time I'm using the data collected by the university for a purpose. They collected it for a purpose for themselves and I'm using it for my purpose here. So this is secondary.